Hey guys, welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So we're picking up on the baby bullet project here, and we're going to make the little boss tabs that go on the base here. And actually, I'll bring you in a little closer, and we'll look at the drawing, and then we'll look at the actual Wilton part, and you'll get the general idea what we're doing there. So let's get in a little closer and have a look, and then let's get to work. Okay, so let me spin this around so you guys can kind of see it here. So here's what we're doing. It's this, make sure that, yeah, you can see that. We're doing this tab here, and it's made out of 1/8" material, about 3 millimeters thick. And so I'll orient this the same so you guys get the idea. That's these little guys right here. Okay, so it's a raised boss that's part of this base. And then it intersects with this tube here. So, you know, we're just kind of building this thing up. We did the plate here, and now we'll do this, and then we'll do the tube next, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So I got a little chunk of material, and we'll just we'll do some layout, and we'll lay them out carefully, and then we'll saw them out, and we'll probably belt sand. I don't think we're going to mill them. We'll see how it goes. And then get them all dressed up. So let's get cracking. Okay, so here's the tools we're going to use to do this little layout. First off, I think I'm just going to, most of the time I don't use Dicom myself, but as my you know what, I really don't like these bottles. I need to get a brush applicator type. Normally I don't use a lot of Dicom myself, but as my vision kind of takes a dump on me, I'm using it more and more. But see, that's why I don't like this. See, it just wipes the old stuff out. Yeah, I don't know. What do you do, right? All right, well, that should be enough. Let me let that dry, and then we'll see, now I get some on my finger. We'll come back and do a little layout of these these bolt tab bosses chingaderas. Okay, so this looks like it's dry enough. So we're going to start out, let's see, I don't know if I can, see if I can show this thing real quick. I want to blown out the camera there. Okay, there you go. You guys can kind of see it there. That's what we're laying out, okay? And let the camera exposure come back. So we're going to start out, we have one rough sawed edge and then one kind of factory straight edge here. So that's our kind of our reference edge there. So what's the main width there? 850, so I don't know, 1/2 inch or something like that. I'm just going to start somewhere in this region here, okay? So the first line I'm going to put on here, you know, this is not convenient for me, guys. I think I need to change the camera a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. This surface is up kind of high for me, and so I'm trying to film and do this. So let me change the camera. I'm sorry. All right, this looks better. Let's see what we can do here. So I'm going to put a center line first that everything will kind of come off of, like that. Okay, and then, according to my little chicken sketch over here, the first line is going to be equal to a little more than the radius of the end. So let's set our little dividers here. That's 323. So I'm going to set it for like 350, something like that. Okay. And let's see, make sure I'm on my reference edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little line right there like that. That's all I want. And then, oops, where'd my hammer go? There's my hammer. This is going to get a little center pop here. Like so, okay. And then I'm going to scribe the radius because I need to intersect the tangents. Okay. in the thing there. Now you see why I went a little more than the radius there, because I wanted a little bit on the end there so that I could clean that up. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to set the, let's see, let me rotate that around a little bit. I want to set the distance to the, I don't know, the square part of this, okay? Which I happen to have on the drawing. 550, 553. Well, okay, I'm going to say 550 because I'm not going to be able to see 3,000s here. And then what I'll do is I'm just going to put a little line there like that. Beep. Okay. Okay, so now what I want there is I want a horizontal line kind of at that distance, but I want it parallel with this edge too, right? Okay. So in this case, I'm just going to line that up with that. Okay, let's double check. Oops, I must have moved a little bit. All right. I'm trying to keep this under the trying to keep it under the camera here so you guys can see it here. Slide along. Okay. Okay, so there's my horizontal line. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. So now we're going to, there'll be some points out here. We're going to connect those to the tangent of that circle, right? But what we need to do is set off a distance from symmetric about that center line, okay? So it's going to be half of the width of the tab, which is 428, right? Yeah, 428. All right, so a little more than 420 right there, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sweep the radius there, but I don't want to center punch that little intersection, and the reason is because it won't be drilled away later, so I'm just going to set the dividers in there and scratch a little line there and scratch a little line there, okay? And so I'm just locating from that. If, you know, sure, you could center punch that, but then when you go to finish this, you're going to have a little divot there that you probably don't want. Okay, so now we'll draw our tangent lines, okay? And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to set the scribe point at that intersection, and then I'll put the ruler up against it, and then rotate the ruler until I get the tangency that I want, and then scribe, and I'm going to scribe all the way, okay? That way I have a target out here. I don't have to guess where that line is coming off of the edge, right? Okay, we'll do the same thing here. Hopefully you can. So I set it there first, put it up against the scribe, rotate till I get my tangency that I want, and then scribe, okay? All right, so now what we do is we cut that out, and then we can just rough cut it out, and it's thin enough that we can just belt sand that right to size, and then we're all happy. Let's go ahead and put the, while we're at it here, let's put this, just so you guys can see it here. So this is the whole, the scribe, these dividers are real sharp. I sharpened them. Okay, so there's the tab right there. Let's see, double check the camera there. So we go, so we're just going to cut that off. Sure, you could set that against that edge, but remember that edge was rough, okay? So I use this as my datum, this edge that was clean. So I need to do another one because I need two of these. I'm not going to show both of them, so I'll cut that out, and then we'll do a little belt sandage. All right, so there's our layout. Okay, so now we got to cut this thing out, and there's a couple ways we could cut this out. I could go change the blade on the bandsaw and kind of cut it out on the bandsaw, but I thought what we do is we just use a manual method here, nice and simple, and which is the lowly hacksaw. Now this one has a 32 tooth blade on it, okay, and this is only 1/8" material here, okay, and 3mm material, and this will just whip right through this pretty quickly. you know, I think everybody's got a hacksaw. This is a high tension one, so this is a decent one here, and I don't even need to get very close to the line here, and I don't really want to. This is gonna be kind of noisy here. Yeah, let's just go for it. Kind of annoyingly noisy, isn't it? Okay. And then let's see. I think I'll cut that straight down. This one will be quieter. I'm using my thumb to kind of get it started where I want it. There. Actually, I don't want to go all the way. Alright. And let's do that one. So, okay. So we're almost got the one out. Oop, now it's going south a little bit. You can't turn with them, that's for sure. All right, pulled out of the dive on that one. I just, you know, preloaded the blade a little bit to get it to kind of turn a little bit. Okay, and then that'll just belt sand right off. You still see all our layout lines, which is what we want. So one more, and then we'll belt sand. All right, so we're gonna belt sand that right down to the scribe lines. Now, you know, if you like peace and quiet, in handwork, you could just do these with a file in the vise, nice and quiet and actually very soothing to do it that way. But we're just going to belt sand these just because I can. All right, so put some hearing protection on here. Okay, watch your ears, boys. Alright, so we're gonna pop some holes in these little boss tabs here. So what I want to do first is get over one of these holes here in my mini pallet plate. We're just gonna line that up kind of eyeball centric. Okay. And then, so this got a point on it, and I got a little center pop in here, so we'll just find that little thing somehow. There we go. All right. So, and I'll just put a little pressure on it so I can still rotate it, but it's, you know, it's located. And I'm going to use some little mini pallet clamps here. Actually, let's set the height here. Set the height over here of the heel screw. Right like that. Okay. So this is where this thing works really good for holding little dorky stuff like this. One is probably enough, but you know, two's better. Probably. Let's see. That's too close. Yeah, okay, over there like that. Put it off to the side. All right, crank that down. Crank that down, okay. Okay, looks good. All right, so I tightened it up, right? Yeah. All right, that's a little too fast. Sure. A little whisper of lube. And okay. That's it. All right. Just thinking there. All right, yeah. So, you know, I just touched into that hole a little bit, but that's what this plate's for. Is it's that's one of the great things about it is you don't worry about the surface, right? You don't make it, it's not precious. And so you don't worry about it, right? So fine, drill into it, who cares, right? That's the idea, because it's really, really easy to make a new one or surface it or whatever needs to happen, right? So you just don't sweat it. Not like drilling into your Herman Schmidt parallels or something like that, right? Where you're really just gonna cry like a baby, right? If you dink one of those. Okay. So, you know, it doesn't take long. All the tool changes take longer than the drilling, right? Dunsky. Now, you see me put my hand like that, and that's so I don't blow crud back into the camera, you know. I mean, the camera's pretty close to us right now, and, you know, I don't like to buy new ones all the time, so. Okay. All right. Deburr those, and then clean the dicom off, and then they're ready to be welded on the base. Okay, so we got our little tabs here, and they go like that. And actually, you know what? I got some screws right here. You can use to kind of line these up, just for visual. So they're going to go like that, and then we're going to weld along here all the way around, and then we'll blend that in to the base so that it looks like it's kind of cast. Now, you see here they come up short of this edge, right? So if I did my calculations correct, grab a radius gauge here. So the radius is actually a little bit bigger than this here, but there's the idea, right? Hopefully you can see that is, you know, when we put the tube on here, it's going to come up right close to the that intersection there and be kind of tangent to that corner. So if we get them on there straight, it'll be, you you know, there won't be any real gap to fill there, I guess is what I'm trying to say, so. All right, so now the question becomes, do we weld these on now or after the fact? We have really good access to them right now, so it might be smart to weld these on and do a little preliminary blending on these, you know, while we can kind of get at those and do a nice job of it. Yeah, you know, it's kind of, I got to think about that a little bit, so maybe we'll do that, but that's where we're at. Okay, thanks for watching.